Every few nights on Florida's Space Coast, something strange happens. The sky doesn't darken, it awakens. And if you stand close enough to Cape Canaveral, you'll feel it before you see it. A low, ancient rumble, like the coastline remembering the power it once held. This isn't thunder. It's something far more deliberate. On November 14th and 15th, Cape Canaveral entered a rhythm that felt almost unnatural. Rockets leaping into the sky one after another, as if the Atlantic wind itself was clearing a path for them. SpaceX lit up the night first. A Falcon 9 sliced through the darkness, carrying a cluster of Starlink satellites, 29 pieces of a global puzzle meant to blanket the planet with communication. 8 minutes later, like a ghost returning home, its booster touched down on the drone ship a shortfall of gravitas. Smooth, controlled, almost too perfect. And before that roar even faded, the pads were preparing again. Another Falcon 9 was fueled, loaded, and ready, a launch window separated by just a few hours. This wasn't a slow ceremonial space program anymore. This was a machine, a heartbeat. But this month, it wasn't just SpaceX. Something bigger rose from the coast. Blue Origin's towering New Glenn, a rocket that many doubted would ever prove itself, finally made its mark. It carried NASA's ESCAPADE mission, 2 satellites headed straight for Mars to study how the sun slowly strips atmospheres away. And then, for the first time ever, the New Glenn booster didn't vanish into the ocean. It came back. It landed. A milestone that changed the tone of every conversation in the industry overnight. Because now, Cape Canaveral is no longer a battleground of the past. It's an arms race of reusability. Landing boosters, relaunching boosters, turning pads around faster than ever recorded. This place is shifting from historic landmark to something far more critical, a launch factory for the future. But here's the part that feels off, almost hidden. These launches aren't spaced out anymore. They pile up, one after another. A cadence that feels like preparation. Starlink missions almost every few days. Cargo flights, Mars probes, telecommunication tests, classified payloads, all weaving together like threads of a much bigger pattern. Some engineers quietly whisper about it. The idea that Cape Canaveral is becoming a gateway, not just to orbit, but to the moon, to Mars, and maybe to resources we haven't even publicly acknowledged yet. The infrastructure is evolving faster than the public realizes. The pads built for Apollo are now being repurposed for something entirely new. And the rockets themselves, they're growing smarter, not just stronger. So imagine this. A few years from now, the same coastline where early explorers once sailed toward the unknown might host ships of a very different nature. Cargo flights to lunar bases, fuel depots for Mars-bound craft, even autonomous robotic missions mining asteroids. And all of it traced back to the same thunder we hear today. But that future comes with a price. Launch cycles this tight leave no room for error. One solar storm, one delayed booster refurbishment, one manufacturing bottleneck, and the entire chain of missions could feel the impact. Cape Canaveral isn't just busy, it's becoming vulnerable, a single point in a global strategy. And yet, each night as another countdown echoes over the water, the rockets keep rising. The flame, the shockwave, the trembling ground. They're not just engineering, they're signals. Signals that the next chapter of humanity's expansion is already being written. So as the launch pads reset and the boosters return for another flight, the question remains, are we simply watching routine missions, or are we witnessing the beginning of something far larger than we're being told? If you're ready to follow this journey, through the launches, the secrets, the rivalries, and the hidden truths behind the Space Coast transformation, hit subscribe, tap like, and stay close. Because Cape Canaveral isn't slowing down, and neither are we. Something big is coming, and it's launching from right here.